It's the month of May in 1952 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and crews have begun preparing their cars for the long month of practice ahead. 83 cars have been entered this year, although 6 have not arrived and 1 has been withdrawn. Out of those 83 entries, there are no less than 23 different chassis, with Curtis being the most prevalent at 35. There are also 9 different engines, with Offenhauser having the most at 69. Firestone, who have been around since the Speedway's founding in 1909, have a lot of tires to balance for the race teams. Sophomore driver Bobby Ball's number 38 Howard Keck Ferrari warms up in the garage area. The number 38 is one of 5 Ferraris entered, although 1 has been withdrawn. Rookie Joe Barston, the number 53 California Speed Shop Special, watches his mechanic work on the car. Danny Cladis is looking to make his second race in the number 19 Tuffinelli Derico Special. Freddie Agabation hopes to make his 6th 500 in a row in the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special. The pace car for 1952 is the Studebaker Commander. 1950 winner Johnny Parsons heads out for practice in the number 6 Grant Piston Ring Ferrari. Duke Nalen, who's looking to make his 9th race this year, also heads out in the number 36 Novi Pure Oil Special. The number 4 Hinkle Special of Jack McGrath gets a once-over before heading out. Johnny Parsons and crew are trying to figure out how to make the Ferrari go faster. The number 8 of Manny Aiello sits in the pits as Henry Banks' number 2 gets pushed by. Rookie Leroy Warrener's number 27 gets pushed back to the garage area. Sitting in the pits are the number 71 of Bob Swikert, the number 34 of Roger Ward, the number 74 of Peter Hahn, the number 54 of George Connor, and the number 67 of Gene Hartley. Bill Schindler heads out in the number 7. Veteran driver Chet Miller gives a wave to the camera. Rookie Bill Taylor's crew works on the number 47. A car is checked on the barrel alignment rack as a mechanic cleans an engine in the garage area. Carl Forberg pulls out in the number 23 Fadley and Anderson Maserati. Rookie Jimmy Daywalt heads back to the garage area in the number 47 Merkle Machine Works Special. Leroy Warrener's number 27 Blue Crown Spark Plug Special is pushed back out to the pits as Chet Miller heads back to the garage area in the number 21 Novi Pure Oil Special. Bill Cantrell also heads back to the garage area in his number 52 Pat Clancy Special as Joe Barsta's crew works on the number 53 California Speed Shop Special. Johnny Parsons gets ready to head out for practice in the number 6 Ferrari. Barsta's Maserati gets a final check before heading out to the pits. Crews get some final work done on their cars before the first day of qualifying tomorrow. Troy Ruttman's crew makes some final adjustments to the number 98 Agajanian Special before sending him out for practice. Troy will try to make his 4th 500 in a row today. Rookie Jimmy Bryan goes by in the number 77 Peter Schmidt Special, as does Duke Nalen in the number 36 Novi. Freddie Agabation builds speed in the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special. Roger Ward goes by slowly in the number 34 as Freddie Agabation in the Diesel continues to build speed. Bryan heads by on a quick lap as Agabation passes rookie Eddie Johnson in the number 81 Central Excavating Special. Veteran George Connor goes by in the number 54, as does second-year driver Bill Vukovich in the number 26 Fuel Injection Special. Bryan on another quick lap is followed by teammate George Tishner in the number 88. Bryan helps push his number 77 Schmidt Special back to the garages. Veteran Chet Miller in the number 21 Novi Pure Oil Special heads out in search of more speed. Henry Banks, who's looking to make his 6th 500 this year, also heads out in search of more speed. Tony Bettenhausen's number 99 Bellinger Special is pushed back to the garage area for more adjustments. Jimmy Jackson, who missed last year's race, heads out in his number 61 Auto Shipper Special, but is right back in again and heads to the garages for more work. Rookie Art Cross's number 33 is pushed out to the pits as Bill Cantrell exits for more practice in the 52. Jack McGrath qualifies in 3rd spot and Andy Linden grabs 2nd. Duke Nalen then heads out in the fan-favorite Novi and qualifies with an average speed of 136.188 miles per hour, which is good for 4th position. Dwayne Carter grabs 6th in the number 1. George Connor in the number 54 Federal Engineering Special blows an engine on the front straightaway and spins down into the first turn. Connor is out of the car and okay. The car is towed back to the garage area for repairs, so there's still a chance that he can make his 14th straight 500 this year. Next up is Freddie Agabation in the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special, who electrifies the crowd with a one-lap record of 139.104 miles per hour on his way to a record average pole position run of 138.010 miles per hour. That spectacular run puts an end to the first weekend of qualifications as the rains come on Sunday. Another week of practice is underway for drivers that did not make the race, and Dwayne Carter, along with last year's winner Lee Waller, have a little fun with Dwayne's son, Dwayne Jr. Later, he would become known as Poncho. Having already qualified the number 1 Bellinger Special on the outside of the second row, Dwayne tries to make his office just a little bit more comfortable for the 500 miles to come at the end of the month. Dwayne talks with veterans Duke Nalen and Sam Hanks before he's rolled out to the pits to do some race day setup runs. Mechanics have an easier job of working on the number 66 John Zink Special of Mike Nazareth now that the bodywork is off of it. Driver Joe James, who's looking to make his second 500 this year, helps his crew push the number 14 Bartle Special in the garage area. He's then interviewed by a reporter about the coming weekend's qualifications and the race. The crew of the pole-winning Cummins Diesel Special pushes the car in the garage area and gets it set up to go on the barrel alignment rack where it will get some adjustments. A Cummins Diesel has appeared in the 500 on 3 other occasions. In 1931, Dave Evans drove the first Cummins Diesel non-stop to the 13th position with an average speed of 86.107 miles per hour. In 1934, 2 were entered. One was driven by Evans, who finished 19th with transmission problems after 81 laps, and Stubby Stubblefield drove the other to 12th position with an average speed of 88.566 miles per hour. In 1950, Jimmy Jackson was sidelined with supercharger problems after just 52 laps. He would finish 29th. Bill Schindler's number 7 Chapman Special is checked over by the crew before he heads out for practice. Bill is looking to make his 3rd straight 500 this year. After the adjustments on the barrel alignment rack, Freddie Agabation is pushed out to pit row in the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special for race day setup runs. '50 winner Johnny Parsons is with Lee Waller, who proudly displays the Borg Warner Trophy he received for winning last year's race. Lee is unable to compete this year as he is still recovering from burns suffered at Reading last year. Rookie Bob Scott sits in the number 93 Morris Special as the crew readies the car for a practice run. Scott gives the brakes a check before heading out. Duke Nalen talks to the crew of his number 36 Novi Pure Oil Special as they make adjustments to the engine before he heads out for race day setup runs. Rookie Formula One driver Alberto Ascari is back in after test hopping Johnny Morrow's number 35 Kennedy Tank Ferrari. After the crew has finished up the engine adjustments, Duke Nalen prepares to make some race day setup runs. Jimmy Bryan heads down the front straightaway on a quick lap in the number 77 Schmidt Special. Ascari now takes out his Ferrari in search of more speed. 1950 pole sitter Walt Faulkner tries out the Cummins Diesel. Ascari flashes by on a quick lap in the number 12 Ferrari as Bill Vukovic prepares to take out the number 26 Fuel Injection Special for more practice. Vukovic, upon seeing the car for the first time, said it looked like a roadster, and the name stuck. Freddie Agabation now lends a hand to 3-time winner Wilbur Shaw, who will be trying out the Cummins Diesel. Agabation, Faulkner, and the rest of the Cummins crew help Shaw get buckled in and familiar with the car. Shaw looks confident in the cockpit, but he hasn't driven a car since testing for Firestone during World War II. He heads out onto the track and takes a slow lap to get familiar with the car. Ascari is pushed back out for more practice in the Ferrari and begins to find the speed he needs to qualify. Shaw's quick, he hasn't lost his touch. Ascari is finding more speed. Shaw pulls the Cummins diesel in after running some very respectable laps. Jimmy Bryan lights up a cigar, which has become his trademark, as the crew works on his number 77 Schmidt Special. Shaw talks about his run in the Cummins diesel with onlookers. After turning some quick laps today, Ascari looks confident for tomorrow's qualifying. Rookie Jim Rigsby's Bob Estes Special is pushed out for qualifying. Danny Cladis, Joe Barzda, and Johnny Parsons are all looking for the speed to qualify. Bill Schindler in the number 7 Chapman Special heads back for more adjustments, as does Eddie Johnson in the number 81 Central Excavating Special. Veteran George Connor qualifies 14th. Bill Vukovic averages 138.212 miles per hour to start 8th. Art Cross qualifies 20th, with Jim Rigsby qualifying 26th, and Eddie Johnson qualifying 24th. Cliff Griffith makes the show in 9th position in the number 22 Seraphoff Special, and Henry Banks qualifies the Blue Crown Spark Plug Special in 12th. George Fonder in number 65, Roger Ward in number 34, and Bill Schindler in the number 7 Chapman Special all qualify for their second 500s in 13th, 22nd, and 15th respectively. Tony Bettenhausen flies by in the number 99 Bellinger Special, but crashes as he exits the first turn. Tony was lucky, as he only received minor injuries in the accident, but the car was less fortunate, as it was extensively damaged and is done for the month. Jimmy Bryan will start 21st, and Jimmy Reese qualifies 23rd. Rookie Bob Swikert is too slow in the number 52 Pat Clancy Special, but Bob Scott qualifies the number 93 Morris Special in the 25th spot, and Bobby Ball will start 17th in the number 55 Anstead Special. Alberto Ascari gets ready to qualify. He puts together 4 consistent laps, averaging 134.308 miles per hour, good for 19th position. Agabation continues to work on race day setup while Chet Miller still looks for speed, and Johnny Parson jumps into the Jim Robbins number 5. Joe Barzda, who's still looking for speed in the number 53 California Speed Shop Special, will have to wait till tomorrow as qualifying is over for the day. The last day of qualifications dawns, and Freddie Agabation and crew prepare the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special for more race day setup runs. The team has been experiencing tire problems due to the weight of the car, and they're doing what they can to make sure the car goes the distance on race day. Neil Carter looks for speed in the number 25 Auto Shipper Special. Chet Miller has been experiencing some problems with his number 21 Nova Pure Oil Special, so he heads out onto the track with the hope that the bugs have been worked out and he'll find the speed necessary to qualify today. Chet goes by on the front straightaway on a slow lap, making sure that everything is okay with the car before he puts his foot into it. After not finding speed in the number 6 Ferrari, Johnny Parsons takes his first laps in the number 5 Jim Robbins Special as Paul Russo tries to find more speed in the Luke's Truck Parts Special. Miller looks satisfied after his run. Gene Force brings the number 96 Brown Motor Special to a stop in the garage area, where the crew gives the car a once-over before Gene takes it out for practice in hopes of finding the speed to qualify for his second 500. Johnny Tolan gets pushed out to pit lane in the number 73 McNamara Special. He's hoping to find the speed necessary to qualify for his first 500. Meanwhile, rookie Otis Stein heads out for more practice in the number 84 B&N Malamute Special. Veteran Spider Webb offers Stein a little advice on how to make it go faster. Rookie Bill Taylor heads out onto the track in the number 47 Blue Crown Spark Plug Special in search of qualifying speed, as Tony Bettenhausen, now in the number 27 Blue Crown, qualifies in 30th position with an average of 135.384 miles per hour. Johnny Parsons in the number 5 Jim Robbins Special takes the 31st spot, while Johnny McDowell qualifies 33rd in the number 31 McDowell Special. Jackie Holmes takes over the number 71 from Bob Sweikert, who is now in the number 73 McNamara Special. Chet Miller is back in the pits after turning some very quick laps in the number 21 Novi. The Novi engine, first introduced in 1941 by Bud Winfield and Leo Goosen as the Winfield V8, is a dual overhead cam V8 engine with a gear-driven centrifugal supercharger. That's what gives it that banshee-like scream at full power. Miller discusses qualifying strategy with teammate Duke Neyland. Veteran Spider Webb talks about his qualifying run in the number 48 Cranker Special over the PA system. He qualified for his fourth 500 in the 29th position with an average speed of 135.962 miles per hour. Spider gives a wave to a spectator as he heads to the garage area. Chet Miller gets every bit of the 500-plus horsepower out of his number 21 Novi and qualifies with a record average speed of 139.034 miles per hour. Chet is congratulated on his record run by Wilbur Shaw and his crew, but Chet is disappointed as he knows had this been the first day of qualifying, it would have meant the pole position. With the record speed displayed on a pit board behind them, Chet's wife manages to cheer him up. Chet and the powerful Novi that carried him to the track record head back to the garage area. J.C. Agajanian, car owner of the number 98 driven by Troy Ruttman, watches the last few hours of practice and qualifying. Rookie Alan Heath crashes in the fourth turn in his number 32 Engel Stanko Special during his qualification run. The wrecked car is towed back to the garage area, but unfortunately, there is no time left to repair it before qualifications end, so Heath will have to wait until next year to qualify for his first 500. Pole sitter Freddie Agabation looks confident as qualifications begin to wind down. Outside front row starter Jack McGrath talks to Bayless Leverett, who was burned in a practice crash earlier in the month. Driver Mike Nazarek heads to the pits. Walt Faulkner could not find the speed to qualify in the number 25 Auto Shipper Special. Gene Forrest is too slow to make it, and with that, qualifying is over. At the drivers' meeting the day before the race, Duke Neyland jokes with fellow second-row starter Sam Hanks and third-row starter Troy Ruttman. The front row is Freddie Agabation, Andy Linden, and Jack McGrath. Pretty actress Arlene Dahl will greet the winner in victory lane. In keeping with tradition started recently, celebrities are asked to write their name or a message and add their hand or footprints to concrete. Arlene decides to write a note to Tony and Wilbur and add her handprints. T.E. Pop Myers, who's been with the Speedway since its founding, talks with fans. One never knows whom you'll run into in the garage area. Here's Harry Hartz, former driver and car owner. 1925 would see Pete DiPaolo become the first driver to average over 100 miles per hour in winning the 500. Three-time national driving champion Earl Cooper. Eight-time 500 starter Phil Red Schaefer. first three-time winner of the 500, Louis Meyer. Owner of the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special, Don Cummins, and driver Freddie Agabation pose with the pole-winning trophy. Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Wilbur Shaw and actress Arlene Dahl pose with the Borg-Warner Trophy. With the drivers' meeting ceremonies concluded, teams prepare their pits for the race, now less than 24 hours away. It's race day, May 30th, 1952, and a crowd of over 200,000 is here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to witness the running of the 36th International 500-mile sweepstakes. A long line of traffic stretching out as far as one can see down 16th Street slowly makes its way in as the huge crowd of foot traffic continues to make its way to the main gates of the Speedway. As the start of the race draws ever closer, fans continue to stream into the Speedway, as do the cars looking for that prime spot in the infield to watch the race from. As race fans walk to their seats, some stop at souvenir stands along the way. Grandstand A on the outside of the track at the entrance of the first turn is one of several large grandstands here at the Speedway. As cars head across the track to the infield, the pagoda keeps watch over the front straightaway. Marching bands entertain the crowd along the front straightaway as race time draws ever closer. Jammed with cars and fans, the infield is nearly at capacity. As the stands continue to fill, the cars have been lined up in their pit boxes and will soon be pushed out onto the grid. There are 10 different chassis in today's race, with Curtis having 21, Lasovsky 3, Stevens 2, and 1 each of Brahmi, Ferrari, Kuzma, Sherman, Trevis, and Watson. There are 29 Offenhauser or Offie engines in today's race, along with 2 Novis, 1 Cummins diesel, and 1 Ferrari. 8 drivers will be in their first race today. They are Alberto Ascari, Jimmy Bryan, Art Cross, Eddie Johnson, Jimmy Reese, Jim Rigsby, Bob Scott, and Bob Sweikert. Johnny Parsons is the only former winner in today's field. There are several notable veteran drivers who failed to make the race this year. They are 5-time starters Duke Dinsmore and Jimmy Jackson, 7-time starter Paul Russo, former track record holder and pole sitter Walt Faulkner, and AAA Sprint Car champion Tommy Hintershitz. The field average is a record 135.504 miles per hour, eclipsing last year's record of 133.570 miles per hour. Drivers will be shooting for the record average speed of 126.244 miles per hour, set just last year by Lee Wallard, who was the first to win the 500 in under 4 hours. Wallard, who is still recovering from burns suffered last year, is one of 2 former winners not in this year's field that were in last year's. The other is 3-time winner Maury Rose, who retired from racing after crashing out of last year's race. First on the grid is George Connor's number 54 Federal Engineering Special, followed by rookie Alberto Ascari's number 12 Ferrari. Tony Bettenhausen's Blue Crown Spark Plug Special heads to the 10th row, and Johnny Parsons' number 5 Jim Robbins Special goes to the 11th row. Rookie Jimmy Reese's number 37 John Zink Special heads back to the 8th row, as does Roger Ward's number 34 Federal Engineering Special. Rookie Eddie Johnson's number 81 and rookie Art Cross's number 33 are followed by veteran Gene Hartley's number 67 Mel Ray Special. The cars of Jimmy Reese and Roger Ward continue back to their 8th row starting spots. Joe James' number 14 Bardall Special heads to the 6th row, and rookie Bob Sweikert's number 73 McNamara Special to the last row. The number 65 Leitenberger Special of George Fonder is pushed into its 5th row position. Chet Miller's Novi is pushed by the number 73 of Bob Sweikert, Jimmy Bryan's number 77, and George Fonder's number 65. Sam Hanks' number 18 Bardall Special is ready to go from the middle of the second row. Spiderweb's Granker Special heads to the 10th row, and Jack McGrath's Hinkle Special to the outside of row 1. Cliff Griffith's number 22 Tom Serafoff Special is followed by the number 29 of Jim Rigsby and the number 8 of Manny Aiello. Andy Linden's number 9 Miracle Power Special is followed by Jim Rathman's number 59 Granker Wins Oil Special. Johnny McDowell's number 31 and Bob Swikert's number 73 head to the last row, and Jimmy Bryan's number 77 goes to the 7th row. Chet Miller's Novi on its way to the 9th row, and George Fonder's number 65 to the 5th row. Duke Nalen's number 36 Novi Pure Oil Special is pushed by the crew to the number 4 position on the inside of row 2, as Bill Schindler's number 7 Chapman Special is pushed to the 15th starting position on row 5. Troy Ruttman's number 98 Agajanian Special heads to its spot on the 3rd row. Chet Miller and George Fonder's cars head to the 9th and 5th rows respectively. Griffith is set on the 3rd row as Rigsby continues to the 9th row. The number 18 Bardall Special of Sam Hanks is set on the 2nd row as Nalen is pushed by front row starters Linden and McGrath. Bill Vukovic's crew gets ready to push his fuel injection special to the grid. Chuck Stevenson's number 16 Springfield Welding Special is pushed to its spot on the 4th row. Vukovic's number 26 heads to its spot on the 3rd row. Rathman's number 59 heads to the inside of row 4. On its way to the 5th row, Schindler's number 7 goes between 2nd row starters Nalen and Hanks. Schindler and Rathman continue to their positions. Vukovic is pushed past the 2nd row into his middle 3rd row spot. Stevenson's number 16 goes back to the 4th row as Ruttman's number 98 goes up to the 3rd row. Most of the rear of the field has been filled in as Stevenson's number 16 continues back to the 4th row. Freddie Agabation's crew slowly pushes out the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special into its pole position alongside fellow front row starters Andy Linden in the number 9 Miracle Power Special and Jack McGrath in the number 4 Hinkle Special. Banks is set on the outside of the 4th row, as are Agabation, Linden, and McGrath on the front row. Jim Rathman gets some final instructions from the crew. Jack McGrath's number 4 Hinkle Special on the outside of row 1. 3rd row starter Bill Vukovic looks for someone to take his jacket. The 4th row of Jim Rathman, Chuck Stevenson, and Henry Banks. George Connor's number 54 Federal Engineering Special in the middle of row 5. Joe James's number 14 Bardall Special on the inside of row 6. Jimmy Bryan on the outside, Art Cross in the middle, and Alberto Ascari on the inside make up an all-rookie row 7. Roger Ward's number 34 and Jimmy Reese's number 37 of row 8. Track record holder Chet Miller's number 21 Novi on the outside of row 9. Johnny McDowell's number 31, Bob Swikert's number 73, and Johnny Parsons' number 5 on the last row. With the race now only minutes away, starters have been placed into the noses of cars, and crews are making final adjustments to make sure that their car goes the 500 miles. Wayne Carter puts on his helmet and gets ready to climb into the number 1. Agabation's crew looks confident and ready. And now the starting field for 1952, beginning with row 11. On the inside is former winner Johnny Parsons in the number 5 Jim Robbins Special. In the middle is rookie Bob Swikert in the number 73 McNamara Special. And on the outside is Johnny McDowell in the number 31 McDowell Special. Row 10 is Manny Iulo in the number 8 Coast Grain Special. In the middle is Spider Webb in the number 48 Granatelli Racing Enterprises Special. And on the outside is Tony Bettenhausen in the number 27 Blue Crown Sparkplug Special. Row 9 on the inside is rookie Bob Scott in the number 93 Morris Special. In the middle is rookie Jim Rigsby in the number 29 Bob Estes Special. And on the outside is current track record holder Chet Miller in the number 21 Novi Pure Oil Special. Row 8 on the inside is Roger Ward in the number 34 Federal Engineering Special. In the middle is rookie Jimmy Reese in the number 37 John Zink Special. And on the outside is rookie Eddie Johnson in the number 81 Central Excavating Special. Row 7 is all rookies with Alberto Ascari on the inside in the number 12 Ferrari, Art Cross in the number 33 Bose Sealfast Special, and Jimmy Bryan on the outside in the number 77 Schmidt Special. Row 6 is Joe James in the number 14 Bardall Special, Bobby Ball in the middle in the number 55 Amstead Rotary Special, and on the outside is Gene Hartley in the number 67 Melray Special. Row 5 on the inside is George Fonder in the number 65 Leitenberger Special. In the middle is George Connor in the number 54 Federal Engineering Special, and on the outside is Bill Schindler in the number 7 Chapman Special. Row 4 on the inside is Jim Rathman in the number 59 Granker Winds Oil Special. In the middle is Chuck Stevenson in the number 16 Springfield Welding Clay Smith Special. And on the outside is Henry Banks in the number 2 Blue Crown Sparkplug Special. Bobby Ball's number 55 Amstead Rotary Special is having trouble getting started, but the crew manages to get him going, and he races off to catch up to the field. Continuing the starting lineup with the third row. On the inside is Troy Ruttman in the number 98 Agajanian Special. In the middle is Bill Vukovic in the number 26 Fuel Injection Special. And on the outside is Cliff Griffith in the number 22 Tom Serafoff Special. Row 2 on the inside is Duke Nalen in the number 36 Novi Pure Oil Special. Sam Hanks in the number 18 Bardall Special in the middle. And on the outside is Dwayne Carter in the number 1 Bellinger Motors Special. And the front row on the outside is Jack McGrath in the number 4 Hinkle Special. In the middle is Andy Linden in the number 9 Miracle Power Special. And on the pole is Freddie Agabation in the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special. Studebaker Commander Pace Car driver P.O. Peterson begins to pull off as pole sitter Freddie Agabation and the rest of the field pick up speed in anticipation of the start. As the pace car pulls off, the green flag comes out, and the race is on. From the outside of the front row, Jack McGrath takes the lead with Dwayne Carter and Duke Nalen in close pursuit, and Jim Rathman coming up on the inside from the fourth row. The field thunders down the French straightaway and heads into the first turn with McGrath on the lead, followed by Rathman, Carter, Ruttman, Nalen, Griffith, Hanks, Agabation, Vukovic, and Stevenson. Out of the first turn through the short chute and into turn 2, it's McGrath, followed by Rathman, Carter, Ruttman, Nalen, and the rest of the field. Andy Linden, who started second, has fallen back to 28th, and Chet Miller in the Novi has dropped from 27th to 31st. Through the north end and onto the front straightaway, McGrath leads Rathman and Ruttman, who have begun to pull away from Carter and the rest of the field. At the end of the first lap, McGrath, Rathman, and Ruttman continue to pull away from Carter, Nalen, Vukovic, and the rest of the field. Pole sitter Freddie Agabation has dropped back to 9th position, but he's got breathing room between him and Chuck Stevenson in 10th. McGrath still leads, but Ruttman is gotten by Rathman for second. But Rathman battles back and retakes the position, as Vukovic has now moved up into 6th, and Griffith has fallen back to 8th. Linden has clawed his way back up to 21st. Bettenhausen has moved up from 27th to 24th, but Miller has dropped back to last in the Novi. Agabation passes Griffith and Carter for 7th. Vukovic and Nalen try to catch the leaders as Griffith and Carter have gotten back around Agabation. Rookie Bob Scott is in the pits with problems in the number 93 Morris Special. McGrath still leads with Ruttman second as Vukovic takes third from Rathman. Andy Linden, who started on the front row but fell back at the start, is now in the pits with some kind of a problem after only a few laps. Vukovic has passed Ruttman for second and now chases after McGrath. Battles begin to develop as some cars string out and others run in packs. At 5 laps, McGrath is being pressured by Vukovic for the lead. Rutman runs third, Rathman is fourth, and Neyland fifth. Fonder, Connor, and Parsons battle for position. Heading out of the first turn, Vukovic is now in the lead with Rutman trying to take second from McGrath. Heading out of the third turn, Rutman has gotten past McGrath for second. Duke Neyland comes in from fifth position for an early pit stop for new tires and fuel. At 15 laps, Bill Vukovic is setting a record pace in the lead in the number 26 fuel injection special. Troy Rutman in the number 98 Agajanian special is running in second. Outside front row starter Jack McGrath in the number 4 Hinkle special is running third. And Jim Rathman in the number 59 Granker Winds Oil special is holding down fourth. Bob Scott and Andy Linden are both still in the pits. The Novi Purell crew does a great job and gets Duke back out into the race in less than a minute. Rookies Alberto Ascari and Art Cross battle through turn 3 as Cliff Griffith tries to hold off Spider Webb in turn 1. Chuck Stevenson pits and loses over 8 minutes as the crew replaces the plugs and fuels the car. Pole sitter Freddie Agabation in the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special is running in the top 10. Vukovic stretches his lead in the number 26 fuel injection special as he begins lapping back markers. Rutman in the number 98 Agajanian special does his best to hold off McGrath in the number 4 Hinkle special for second, as Jim Rathman in the number 59 Granker Winds Oil special maintains fourth. Stevenson tries to make up time lost in the pits. Manny Aiello is moving up from his 28th starting position as rookie Jimmy Reese is running a good race, going from 23rd into the top 15. While Vukovic is pulling away, Rutman and McGrath continue to battle for second. At 30 laps, it's Vukovic in the lead with Rutman second, McGrath third, Rathman fourth, and Neyland fifth. Pole sitter Freddie Agabation has brought the number 28 Cummins Diesel Special in for a routine pit stop as the crew of Henry Banks' number 2 Blue Crown Spark Plug Special work on a problem. At 35 laps, Bill Vukovic is in the lead in the number 26 Fuel Injection Special, and second is Troy Rutman in the number 98 Agajanian Special. Out of the race to this point are Andy Linden in the number 9 Miracle Power Special, who completed just 20 laps after suffering oil sump pump problems, and a broken gear case has taken out Bobby Ball in the number 55 Anstead Rotary Special after 34 laps. Banks' crew continues to work on the car as Agabation heads back out into the race. Roger Ward pits in the number 34 Federal Engineering Special, as does Chet Miller in the number 21 Novi Pure Oil Special. Jack McGrath, who'd been running third, encounters problems on his first pit stop as the crew works on the fuel pump. A wheel collapses on rookie Alberto Ascari's Ferrari, and he spins out of the race on his 41st lap, placing him 31st. Jim Rathman brings the number 59 Granker Winds Oil Special in from 4th position for new tires and fuel. The Novi pits are busy as Neyland gets his tires changed and Miller is out of the race with a broken supercharger shaft, placing him 30th. Vukovic in the number 26 Fuel Injection Special has pulled out a big lead and is nearly a lap ahead. Rutman in second tries to keep up with Vuki's blistering pace. Johnny Parsons is moving up through the field while Dwayne Carter is running a consistent race in the top 10. Rookie Art Cross is running smoothly in the top 15. Spider Webb and George Fonder battle for position. Bill Vukovic gives up the lead to make his first pit stop. At 65 laps, Troy Rutman is in the lead with Bill Vukovic running second, having pitted. Teammates Sam Hanks and Joe James in the Bardall Specials are running third and fourth. Out of the race to this point are Andy Linden, 33rd, Bobby Ball, 32nd, Alberto Ascari, 31st, Chet Miller, 30th, Bob Scott, 29th, and Gene Hartley, 28th. Vukovic's crew does an excellent job changing 4 tires and fueling the car in less than 45 seconds. And thanks to the lead he built up, he's only lost 1 position. So he charges out of the pits after the new leader, Troy Ruttman. Manny Aiello brings in the number 8 Coast Grain Company Special to his pits with no brakes. Duke Nayland, who's gone down a lap because of 2 pit stops, tries to make up some time as he leads a group of cars through the first turn. After running consistently in the top 10, Sam Hanks has brought the number 18 Bardal Special in for his first pit stop. Freddie Agabation continues to run strong in the top 10 with the Cummins diesel. Jim Rigsby and Manny Aiello battle. Ruttman continues to lead, but he'll soon have to make his first pit stop. Vukovic, who came out in second place after his first stop, is gaining on Ruttman with every lap. Cliff Griffith leads Agabation, Bryan, and Cross through turn 2. Bill Schindler is running a consistent race in the top 15. 1950 winner Johnny Parsons pits the number 5 Jim Robbins Special and takes the time to get out and stretch as the crew works on the car. Joe James returns to the race after a pit stop. He was running in 3rd place before he pitted. Webb and Rathman battle for position. Cross gets by Agabation for 10th and now pressures Griffith, but Agabation laps Nayland and goes after Cross. 2 laps later, though, a clogged supercharger takes him out of the race, placing him 27th. Rookie Bob Swikert in the number 73 McNamara Special is out after 77 laps with a broken differential gear. Leader Troy Ruttman in the number 98 Agajanian Special makes his first pit stop for fuel and tires. The pit stop goes like clockwork, but Troy is anxious to get back out onto the track as the crew finishes up putting on the tires, when suddenly fuel is spilled on the exhaust pipe and caught fire, but it is quickly contained. A brave Troy Ruttman stays with the car and keeps it running. Troy loses valuable time, but once the crew feels the fire is completely out and the car is okay, they send him on his way. Here's another perspective of the fire. Vukovic now leads by a wide margin over Ruttman. Art Cross is running very well for his first race as he is still in the top 10. Duke Nayland brings the number 36 Novi Pure Oil Special in for his 3rd stop of the race. Although down a lap due to previous stops, Duke has made up some of that time on the track, so he hopes this stop is a quick one. Unfortunately, Duke suffers the same fate as teammate Chet Miller as a broken supercharger shaft takes him out of the race at 84 laps. He'll finish 25th. Jimmy Reese heads out after a stop. Spider Webb is running a consistent race in the top 20. Johnny Parsons has moved up from 31st into 5th. Dwayne Carter in the number 1 Bellinger Motors Special is running strong in the top 10. Hanks in the number 18 laps Schindler in the number 7. Johnny McDowell in the number 31 McDowell Special seems to have some sort of a problem as he exits the pits slowly. He seems to get it going though, and he heads back out into the race. The starter has broken on Tony Bettenhausen's car, and the crew tries to push start him. But it's to no avail, as Tony is out of the race after just 93 laps. He'll finish 24th. Vukovic continues to widen his lead over Ruttman. Sam Hanks in the number 18 Bardal Special is running a comfortable race in 4th place. Fonder and Webb battle in the top 20. Jim Rathman comes in from 3rd place in the number 59 Gregor Wins Oil Special for tires and fuel. At 125 laps, Vukovic leads with Ruttman in 2nd and Sam Hanks 3rd. Out of the race are Linden, Ball, Ascari, Miller, Scott, Hartley, Agabation, Schweikert, Neyland, and Bettenhausen. Rathman's crew finishes up the pit stop and they send him on his way. Roger Ward is out of the race after completing 130 laps when he lost oil pressure. He'll finish 23rd. Bill Vukovic is running on cruise control in 1st place. Ruttman tries to close the gap on Vukovic. Rathman has passed Hanks and now runs 3rd. Johnny Parsons, who'd worked his way up from the last row into 5th position, has had to stop for mechanical problems. Art Cross passes Spider Webb in turn 3. Carter and Connor battle for 9th as Griffith follows Johnson through 1. Lap 135, and leader Bill Vukovic makes his last pit stop for fuel and tires. Troy Ruttman assumes the lead, with Vukovic maintaining 2nd while in the pits, and Jim Rathman runs in 3rd. No cars have fallen out of the race since Roger Ward on lap 130, and rookies Bryan, Cross, and Reese are all running in the top 10. Vuki's crew gets him out in quick time as he's only 38 seconds behind Ruttman. Ruttman tries his best to put as much distance between himself and Vukovic as he can, as he too will have to make a final pit stop. Rookie Jimmy Bryan is running well in 7th position. Jim Rathman laps Manny Aiello. Ruttman gives up the lead to Vukovic on lap 148 to make his last pit stop for tires and fuel. A few laps later, Sam Hanks brings the number 18 Bardal Special in from 4th place for his last pit stop. Vukovic is in total command of the race. Ruttman tries, but he just can't put a dent in Vuki's lead. Rathman holds down 3rd position. After a lengthy pit stop, Parsons is now running in 12th. George Fonder is running in 16th position, while Bill Schindler holds down 15th. Johnny McDowell is struggling in 22nd. Joe James in the number 14 Bardal Special comes in from 14th for his final pit stop. Rookie Jimmy Bryan pits from 7th place in the number 77 Schmidt Special. After both drivers experienced lengthy pit stops, Johnny Parsons and Jack McGrath are running in 11th and 12th respectively. Ruttman gets caught in lap traffic trying to catch Vukovic. Jim Rigsby in the number 29 Bob Estes Special comes in from 13th place for his final pit stop. It appears as if no one is going to catch Vukovic today. He has run a flawless race, and the car has been in a class of its own. Ruttman is only 35 seconds behind Vuki, but Rathman is nearly 4 laps down in third. Dwayne Carter in the number 1 Bellinger Motors Special and Johnny Parsons in the number 5 Jim Robbins Special run together on the track, although they are in 5th and 11th place respectively. Joe James in the number 14 Bardall Special is 14th, and Bill Schindler in the number 7 Chapman Special is 15th. Rookie Art Cross in the number 33 Bose Sealfast Special is holding steady in the 6th position. Dwayne Carter laps Chuck Stevenson through turn 3. The huge crowd files out as they're sure Vuki's the winner. Even though Ruttman has cut his lead down to less than 20 seconds, Vukovic maintains a steady pace that should garner him the victory in less than 10 laps. But on his 192nd lap, Vukovic's race comes to an end as his steering fails and he slides to a stop against the third turn wall. Vukovic knows he had the race in the bag as he takes a look under the hood and slams it down in disgust. He walks away from the wreck in disbelief, not knowing quite what to think about what has just happened. Troy Ruttman now assumes the lead, with Jim Rathman moving up into the 2nd position. Sam Hanks, now in 3rd, leads his teammate Joe James through turn 3. Dwayne Carter now holds down 4th. Jimmy Bryan, Jim Rigsby, and Art Cross make it 3 wide down the front straightaway, with Cross taking an extremely high line through turn 1. Sixteenth place Eddie Johnson follows Cross through turn 3. Cliff Griffith in the number 22 Tom Serafoff Special has run a steady race and is now in 9th place. Johnny Parsons in the number 5 Jim Robbins Special has managed to get back to 10th position. On the white flag lap, Ruttman laps Schindler through turn 2. Ruttman through 3 and one more turn to victory. Seth Klein waves the checkered flag for Troy Ruttman, winner of the 1952 Indianapolis 500. Ruttman's crew celebrates the victory and heads down to Victory Lane. The fans cheer the new winner of the 500, Troy Ruttman, as he heads through the 2nd turn and onto the backstretch. Speedway president Wilbur Shaw steals a kiss and has a good laugh with actress Arlene Dahl as they wait for Ruttman to make it around to Victory Lane. Car owner J.C. Agajanian and crew finally make it to Victory Lane. Shaw congratulates Agajanian on Ruttman's fine victory today. A victorious Troy Ruttman drives the number 98 Agajanian Special toward Victory Lane to the cheers of the crowd. As the crowd continues to cheer, Ruttman pulls into Victory Lane and is quickly swarmed by well-wishers. Ruttman receives a kiss from Arlene Dahl and gets the traditional water from Wilbur. Ruttman's winning margin of 4 minutes, 2 seconds, and 36 hundredths is the largest winning margin since Louis Meyer over Wilbur Shaw in 1933. That margin of victory was achieved at a record time of 3 hours, 52 minutes, 41 seconds, and 88 hundredths, and a record average speed of 128.922 miles per hour. Not only will Troy get to take home the pace car, he'll receive $61,743 from a purse of $230,100. That's a pretty good payday for a kid of only 22. the youngest winner of the 500. Rookies Jimmy Reese, Jimmy Bryan, and Art Cross all finished in the top 10, with Cross having the distinction of being named the first Rookie of the Year. Jim Rathman is applauded for his second-place finish as he heads back to the garage area. Veteran George Connor finished 8th today. Jack McGrath finished 11th in the number 4 Hinkle Special. Rookie Jimmy Reese brought home the number 37 John Zink Special in 7th place. Joe James in 13th, George Fonder in 15th, and Henry Banks in 19th all head back to the garage area. '16th place Eddie Johnson is followed by Cliff Griffith in 9th, Johnny Parsons in 10th, and Bill Schindler in 14th. Chuck Stevenson brought the number 16 Springfield Welding Clay Smith Special home in 18th place. Manny Ayulo has run out of fuel and coasts in after finishing 20th. A huge crowd has gathered around Victory Lane to catch a glimpse of winner Troy Ruttman. The large contingent of press on hand for today's race records the ongoing celebration in Victory Lane. As Ruttman and the rest of his crew continue to celebrate in Victory Lane, Bill Vukovich, who had dominated the race, was heard to say that Ruttman never won an easier one. He'd be back. '50 winner Johnny Parsons could not find the speed in the number 6 Grant Piston Ring Ferrari to qualify. Parsons did qualify the number 5 Jim Robbins Special and started on the last row in 31st position. Veteran Paul Russo did not qualify the number 10 Lutz Truck Parts Special. Bobby Ball crashed the number 15 Blakely Oil Special in the 4th turn, but he did qualify the number 55 Anstead Special. Danny Cladis was unable to qualify the number 19 Teffanelli Derico Special. Carl Forberg did not find the speed in the number 23 Fadley and Anderson Maserati. Neil Carter and Walt Faulkner could not find the speed in the number 25 Auto Shipper Special. Alan Heath crashed the number 32 Engel Stanko Special in the 4th turn on his qualification attempt. Alberto Ascari and Johnny Morrow both tried the number 35 Kennedy Tank Special. Bobby Ball did not try to qualify the number 38 Howard Keck Ferrari. Ball did qualify the number 55 Anstead Special. Bill Taylor did not qualify the number 47 Blue Crown Spark Plug Special. Bill Cantrell and Bob Swikert both tried the number 52 Pat Clancy Special. Joe Barsda did not qualify the number 53 California Speed Shop Special. Jimmy Jackson in the number 61 Auto Shipper Special was second alternate with a speed of 133.824 miles per hour. Although numbered 47, Jimmy DeWalt's Merkler Machine Works Special was entered as car 64. Judd Larson practiced in the number 66 John Zink Special, and Mike Nazarick was first alternate at a speed of 133.844 miles per hour. Both Bob Swikert and Jackie Holmes tried the number 71 Marion Engineering Special. Swikert would qualify the number 73 McNamara. Rookie Otis Stein in the number 84 B&M Malamute Special practiced but did not attempt to qualify the car. Rookie George Tishner was too slow in the number 88 Schmidt Special. Gene Forrest could not find the speed in the number 96 Brown Motor Special to qualify. Tony Bettenhausen crashed the number 99 Bellinger Motor Special on his qualifying attempt. He later would qualify the number 27 Blue Crown Spark Plug Special.